If you've tried implementing AI in your business and it didn't work, I need you to hear this. You didn't fail because AI isn't ready. You failed because you skipped the most important step and no one told you it existed. Let me paint you a picture. You come across some video in LinkedIn or YouTube that says automate your email response with AI or use ChatGPT to write proposals in 5 minutes. You think that could save us time. So you get excited. You buy the tool, maybe you even rally the team around it. And then it quite doesn't fit your workflows. Your team resists it, things actually slow down, you waste money, and everyone's frustrated. So naturally, you conclude that AI isn't for your business and it just doesn't work for you. But here's what's actually happening, and this is the key insight. The internet only shows you how to automate things, it never shows you what to automate or why. It's like buying medications before you get the diagnosis. You're fitting solutions to problems you haven't even properly identified yet. The businesses that are actually winning with AI, they do not start with solutions first. Start with a audit first. So today I'm walking you through the exact 5-step process to audit your business for AI opportunities. This is the same framework I use with my clients. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear map of where AI can actually move the needle in your business, a prioritized list of opportunities ranked by real business impact, a roadmap that doesn't rely on hype or guesswork. And this process already takes about 3 to 4 hours. So let me show you the right way to do this.
So here's what we are going to cover today. I'll be walking you through the 5-step process that we follow for our clients in identifying any specific pain points that they have and building a roadmap for an AI native company. So I'll be breaking this down into 5 steps, which is mapping out the workflows and analyzing the pain points from the workflows that we have mapped out, after which we'll be scoring the pain points in an opportunity matrix, which I'll help you on how you can get started quickly and get the first win. And finally, I'll be showing how you can build an AI sustainable roadmap for the future. So let's dive right in. Main idea behind this step is that right now you might have a general idea on how things are going on in your business, but you don't have a clear, optimized process map on how things are going on. So this is the main motive behind this step. So the thing is, you can't optimize what you can't see. So if you try to optimize something that you can't see, it's obvious that it's going to fail. So what you need to do is you need to gather key individuals from a department and ask them a few questions about their processes. So you need to ask them a few questions, like for example, it could be something like, how do you onboard new customers, how do we generate proposals, or how do we handle support tickets. And for every process that they have listed out, you need to ask a few questions based on it, on something like who does it and how does it happen, what tools are they using, and how much time does it take. For example, let's say you look at your customer onboarding process. So it might look something like this. At first, your sales team might hand off the project to your delivery team, after which your delivery team will be sending them a welcome email and will be scheduling kickoff call. And once the call is done, you will be creating a project folder and allocate key resources and finally enter the name in the CRM. So this takes about 2 hours per client. So if you're doing it 12 times per month, that's 24 hours a month just on onboarding. So now you have visibility on your processes. So here's the main idea behind this step. You need to have a master list or a visual map of your workflow so that you can refer to in the upcoming steps. Second step, which is to analyze the pain points. Now that you have mapped out the core processes in your business, you need to analyze the pain points that's breaking down your business. So for any general business, the pain points could come under any of these categories. It could be any repetitive work or any high error rates that's happening, or any bottleneck in a process that's delaying output of the process that's followed by the bottleneck, and any manual data entry that eats up your team time, and mainly the time drains that happens which is not necessary. And finally, a misallocated talent, like for example, someone in a senior role might be doing a junior level work and you don't even know it. A quick note is that you not just ask your managers where the pain is, you need to talk to the people actually doing the work, because no one knows their pain point more than the ones who are doing it. So by the end of this step, you'll have a process map that is marked with a real specific pain points that is required for the upcoming steps. Now look, if you're watching this and you're thinking this makes sense, but I have no idea how to get started and map out the pain points in my business, I get it, because that's exactly what I help businesses with every single day. So I run an AI consulting business where I help businesses implement AI into their business. And the first thing that we do is a full diagnostic audit. We understand their workflows and pinpoint any pain points that they have and build a roadmap for an AI sustainable business. So if that sounds like something that you want help with, you can check out the first link in the description where we can schedule a call with me where we can discuss about your business and we can walk through how this would look specifically for your. All right, let's keep moving. All right, this step is a step that changes everything. This is where we separate the gold from the gravel. So what we're going to do is we are going to plot every pain point that we have noted from the previous steps into an opportunity matrix. So the opportunity matrix contains two axes, which is on the x-axis it contains business impact, and on the y-axis it contains the effort to implement the solution, and it will be divided into four quadrants: the quick wins, big swings, nice to haves, and deprioritize. So quick wins is something that has immense business impact and very low effort to implement, and something that has very big business impact and maybe a bit more complexity to implement, and that's included in big swings. And something that has very low business impact and something that is very easy to implement, it could come under nice to haves. And finally, something that has very low business impact but is also very difficult to implement, it goes straight into deprioritize. This is something that you need to neglect. So the y-axis, which is effort to implement, you need to look at these specific points, which is, do we have clean accessible data for this, and is this process standardized or is it going to be chaotic or inconsistent, and how technically complex is this going to be, how hard will the change management be, and finally what's the budget required. And for the x-axis, which is business impact, you need to consider the following points, which is how much time would this save and what's the time worth. Does it impact any revenue, like does it help close deals faster and retaining customers, and does it eliminate costly errors, does it improve customer experience in a measurable way, or does it give you a competitive advantage in the market. Let's say you're looking at automatic prospect research for your sales team. Business value pretty high, let's call it an 8. It's saving hours weekly and directly impacts pipeline. Implementation effort actually pretty low, maybe a 4. Can use existing tools, data is accessible, and process is already defined. That goes in quick wins. Now let's say you're looking at building a custom AI recommendation engine for your product catalog. Business value could be huge, maybe a 9. Could significantly boost conversions. And implement effort also a 9. You need custom development, data modeling, ongoing maintenance. That's a big swing. You might do it eventually, but not first. And by the end of this step, you need to have a prioritized opportunity matrix with clear scores that everyone can understand. The fourth step is picking your first 1 to 3 wins that are plotted in the opportunity matrix. That is something which is high value and low effort. So the main motive behind this is that you need to build momentum in your team. So this is achieved by building your team's confidence by proving that this thing works, and you need to prove that this implementation is providing them a return on investment. And once some processes in your firm become simpler, it creates an organizational momentum that makes other parts of the process also seamless. And finally, by gaining feedback on the process that you have implemented. So think about it. Would you learn lessons on a project that costs you $5,000 and takes 2 weeks, or one that costs you $50,000 and takes 6 months? So the answer is obvious. It would be the first option. So what are the criteria for your first projects? So you need to look at something that's high value and low effort, which you have plotted in the opportunity matrix, and something that's measurable. This is important because you need to prove that the thing that you've implemented works. So, and the other factors are, it should be contained, reversible, and visible across your firm. So examples could look something like an automating meeting assistant and action items, or an AI assisted email response for your support team, or an agent that does the lead enrichment and research for your sales team. These are the type of projects that show results fast. You now have 1 to 3 quick wins under your belt that will help you scale further and make it much more simpler for your team to adapt. Coming to the final step, you need to build a final roadmap that follows a by track approach. One is for implementation and the other one is for training. So starting with implementation, this goes in a 12-month sprint. So in month 1 to 3, you need to launch those 1 to 2 quick wins we just talked about in the previous step, and by month 4 to 6, you need to scale on what worked and have a couple medium complexity projects implemented in your processes as well. And by the final month, which is from month 7 to 12, you need to tackle one strategic high effort. That's it for the implementation part. And as of for the training part, it could look something like this. In week 1, you need to introduce your team to the problem and it could be solved with AI. And week 2 to 3, you need to pilot it with those early adopters who are eager and open to trying new things. And week 4, you need to implement domain specific tools for every employee so that they can take advantage of it and make their work faster. And finally, there's an ongoing timeline, which is you need to schedule office hours, feedback loops, and keep your documentation updated on the new change that is happening in your business. So by the end of all this, you'll have a one-page roadmap with both implementation milestones and the training milestones. Look, AI isn't a magic, it's tool. It works when you're using it on the right problem, the right way, with the right people. Most businesses fail with AI because they are trying to implement it backwards. They're trying to force fit a solution for a problem that they didn't have in the first. But now you have a methodical process that you can start with if you want to become an AI native business. So if you're taking one thing from this video, it should be this. You need to start with auditing your workflow, analyzing the pain points, and start small. After which you need to iterate on the feedback and scale from there slowly. And the most important being that you need to train your team on the change that's happening. That's how you actually make AI work for your business. Now, if you are a business owner and you want help implementing this framework and AI adoption in your business, you can check out the first link in the description where you can book a call with me and we can discuss whether working together makes sense or not. Anyways, thanks for sticking until the end. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.